This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, March 4th, 2022, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, Tennessee, he's back. Artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What's happening?
I want to hear about this construction project that kept
Some
you away
drama.
from us for so long in your studio. Also, just down the road in East Nashville, Tennessee, Relevant senior editor sitting in. Jamie's out this week, so joining us for the show today is our very own Tyler Huckabee.
Howdy.
With Jamie out, all rules are off. The boys are back in town this week, so
The sweatpants podcast is back.
Are you talking about crypto? We're going to be talking about Batman.
GameStop.
Oh, actually, we are going to be talking about Batman because you guys went and saw the preview. It comes out tonight, and you guys saw the preview earlier this week, and we have a game coming up.
Derek had to sit this one out. Tyler ran solo.
Derek didn't go?
Man,
Derek.
look, listen, there's only one thing that would stop me from seeing Batman early in IMAX is my wife saying, I want to watch it with you. So that look, all the guys collectively said, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay."
There was like a shuffle.
It's like, look, and it's hey, it's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna get to go see it with my wife.
That's awesome.
But she was just like, look, hey, I'd like to see it. I just text Tyler back with the crying emoji, just like, yeah, it's over.
No question.
Let me tell you what you meant. We'll get into the movie in a little bit, but this is kind of related to that because originally, as you know, Derek, I'd been told that the showing was at 3:00. And so I went down there, and as I was walking up to the movie theater, I saw a man in full Batman regalia, a cosplayer who he was very excited. He'd gone all out. He was very excited about this.
How did he get into the media screening?
And he was.
What if he was just a film critic? He just really into Batman.
Yeah, he was just a journalist, a reputable, objective film critic, walking away in full Batman regalia. And as I'm walking towards the theater, and he's walking away. And he looks very dejected. And as he walks by me, he just says, "This sucks." And I'm like, "That's not good."
Did he say it like Bruce Wayne voice? Like, this sucks.
It was neither Bruce Wayne nor Batman. It called a little more to mind, like a Simpsons character, maybe.
Comic book store guy.
Yeah. Tyler, was he saying was he rejected from the theater and that's what was sucking, or was it the film? I'm confused because I feel like if I saw a man in a Batman costume just approach me unsolicited, go in like the Christian, because Christian Bale doesn't really say his lines. He kind of barks at me. He goes, if I just saw someone in that costume walk up to me and just point blank go, "This sucks." I'd be like,
what crime?
Should I know what you're referring to?
The Joker?
The death of your parents? What is? Maybe we can agree that's pretty traumatic for all
bereavement.
of us.
What sucked was
so what happened? Yeah,
they had changed the time of the showing, because it was supposed to be at 3:00. They moved it way back later in the evening. I have to assume he already had plans that he wasn't, or he had to walk around the mall for a few hours in Batman costume. Either way,
I don't. But I feel like that's.
Is there a zipper on that mug?
I don't know.
Yeah, how do you get into it?
I don't know, man.
He's like, this sucks because he just had one of the large sodas while he was waiting.
Yeah.
Now he's, how does he? Yeah,
I need some help here. I need some help.
Can you get the back zipper?
Where's
for
the
me?
men's room? Where's the men's room? I'll need a stall.
I low key feel like somebody like Batman probably don't have a zipper on his suit.
I don't think so.
Skin tight, but he probably has some sort of thing that turns pee into water or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, like a Dune situation.
Like astronauts.
Just imagine you fighting like a super villain, bro, and he's throwing a car
break
at you.
Yeah.
You can't be like, "Hey, wait a second, I gotta go to the bathroom." You know what I'm saying? Like you got to kind of just.
No, he's doing it like astronaut style. They've got the it warms up his suit for him.
I do have a question for people who dress up to these films, especially in an elaborate costume like the Batman. do you bring it and like change in the parking lot, or are you straight up driving to the theater in it? Like, are you do your
You're
neighbors
driving to
see
the
you?
theater. Oh, for sure.
Do your neighbors see you leave the house,
Dude,
in
he's got to
full-on
do the black
Batman?
eye makeup. He's doing all that at home. You got to
You know what
prepare.
I'm saying? Like, or do your neighbors see you walk out with a gym bag and then you get there early
Nope.
and
your neighbors
you know,
see Batman leave your apartment.
Nah,
That's what
bro.
the neighbors see.
If it was me,
He's in a coral blue Prius, and his bat ears are scraping the top of the ceiling of the car.
Exactly.
He's
Yeah, he's having
he
to,
was
like,
stuck
drive
in,
punch down.
he was stuck in Nashville traffic, and then he almost ran out of gas right before he got there. So he had to get out and get at the Quick Mart.
swing
That's
by
exactly what
Popeye
happened.
way.
Swing my Popeyes
Go
on
to
the way.
3 hour movie. I don't want to.
3 chicken tenders, buffalo sauce, extra buffalo.
Yes.
And now he's delayed. He's got to go to the food court and just hang out. He's just waiting for a few hours.
I thought this was a fast food joint. What's taking so long?
You forgot the fries.
Now, Tyler, do you think, was it delayed a few hours because the filmmaker was doing kind of Kanye Donda style and he was tinkering until the last minute?
Oh yeah, like last minute edits,
know.
last minute tweaks.
Yeah.
I do not know. I really don't know why they changed it. I have no idea what would have led to that. But I think that one possibility is that they started seeing an army of Batmen walk up, and they're like, I thought this was a critic screening.
Exactly.
And now we've got a bunch of dorks, cosplay dorks in here, and that's just not
Word
what
got
we're
out
about.
on the
This is a
message boards.
serious. This is serious art. This is a film. And so they they delayed it in hopes that would like deter. And it seemed to, because I did not see, when I went to the actual showing, I did not see Batman. But that's kind of the point, right? You're not supposed to see him. He's like in the shadow. Maybe he was right there next to me and I had no idea.
Hey,
Totally.
Batman had to go to work. That boy said,
I don't know. Y'all are giving him a lot of credit that he's got a job. I think he's still living at his mom's basement.
No. Here's the thing. I'm sure he has some sort of profession that allows him to purchase very expensive, authentic Batman
Absolutely.
costumes.
It's not cheap.
Absolutely.
He's probably some programmer that makes more money. He could live like real Bruce Wayne if he wanted to, but he's too caught up in the fantasy world of it. That's probably the likely scenario there.
I do think it's funny your theory though of that they delayed it because they saw the fans got word and we're trying to get into the media screening. That's probably what happened. Well, hey, we have a great show in store for you. Coming up later, we talked to one of my favorite hip hop artists, Shad. He is in the spring issue of Relevant, and he is on the show today. Great new album. We also have a game at the end. If you didn't get enough of your Batman content just then, we've got more in store for you at the end of the show.
Right.
We have a Batman quiz, especially
Boys are back in town.
especially for Derek. Yeah, exactly. The boys are really back in town on this show.
Yeah, we here.
And
we here.
Well, for a few minutes here on the next segment, Relevant Buzz, Emily's going to join us from Paris, so she'll kind of even things out for at least a few minutes. So stay tuned. Up next, it's Relevant Buzz.
I got the ghost, so I don't need a rose, but I might push a phantom that's right off the lot. I know I'm serving the father of time, and that's whether I got on a paddock or not. Canada Goose for the code, and they told me to count up my blessings. I counted a lot. Stashing my treasure in heaven where it'll get better and don't gotta weather the ride. Yeah, K did a second, that's rapper, that's reverend. They started with Jesus, but I never left it. Think they protected, we tear down your hedges. I gave you the book, but you boys never read it. Don't need your credit, you cannot check on my dress. It's still swinging, I'm Eddie from
You're
Tekken.
listening to KB and No Big Deal. The song is King Jesus, their new single. It's great. Okay, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Relevant Buzz. Joining us live from Paris, France, our roving reporter, our very own downtown Emily Brown, telling us what's happening this week. Hey, Emily.
Bonjour, everyone.
Bonjour. What's the buzz?
Oh, we.
All right,
Emily, I do have to warn you, you've walked into the boys are back in town type of a vibe. We've been talking about Batman for the last 15 minutes. So, and cosplay and Batman outfits and
cooling down.
do these elaborate
so
Batman
sad I missed
outfits
that.
have zippers in case you
And-
need to use the restroom.
And
that
do
kind of
you
thing.
leave the house in it and drive to the theater? Or do you change, kind of covertly. There's a lot.
They're
to
proud of
unpack
it,
here.
Jesse. They're not trying to like, oh, I'm embarrassed, I'm going to change at the theater. They're like flaunting it as they walk
They're
around town
dedicated.
that day. Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, honestly, in 2022, if you see an adult man walking around in a Batman suit, I don't even think twice about it. I'm just like, oh, he's probably just, well, why not? Why not? I mean, it doesn't
I
even faze
assume
me
he's
anymore.
probably fighting crime. I ain't gonna even lie.
Yeah,
Like
keeping
we're
it safe.
in a whole new world.
Keeping it safe out there.
what's going on, Emily?
Okay, so we're going to start off with news that has really just dominated headlines, which is the situation in Ukraine. I am not an expert, so I'm not going to recap it that much. But essentially, the Russian army invaded, and even within a week, there's been so much happening and so much has changed. Even by the time, we're recording this Thursday, by the time you hear this, so much more is probably going to change. And so we're trying our best to keep on top of information and share all the relevant information that we can.
It's so hard too. Tyler and I have been talking about this all week. Like, it is impossible to believe anything that's being shown or reported. Even if you see footage or you see a picture, it's like people like run with this narrative on social media, and then you find out a week later that like, oh, actually it was the opposite of what the picture seemed to be implying. Or, like that very first day about the warship, and the island, and they're like fighting, and they told them to go, where they could, whatever. And then like they killed all 13 of them. And then it turns out a few days later, oh, they were captured and they're all alive. It's like, it's just impossible to know what's going on. And we're obviously not a breaking news outlet. So we're doing our best to cover the narratives that are true and substantive and we need to pay attention to. But yeah, it's really
it can
hard
make you feel kind of crazy trying to keep up with all of it. Just the amount of misinformation and how upside down it all
and both
gets.
sides,
And the narratives
like,
that flip and flip flop, and it's hard. It's
there's
very
news
difficult.
reports that like the Russian soldiers are giving up and crying and want to, whatever. And it's like, well, obviously there's certain people that want to portray the conflict that way. Is that true? Or is it, whatever? And then obviously we know misinformation coming from the Russian side is they're very good at it. So it's like,
you can't be too skeptical about any of it.
It's tough. Unless it's like from the New York Times, like I'm not believing it,
Yeah. And the challenging thing with this situation too is, there is a lot of misinformation, but this really is a war that shows the degree that can be weaponized in a way that, really the entire, motivation for the war is based on, just overt misinformation, the denazification of a country that is, whose president is is Jewish, like the entire, justification or pseudo justification for the war is based totally on misinformation. And I think it just goes to show, the danger of the continual weaponization of misinformation.
Well, really, this conversation is so important because one of the things that I feel like we're kind of saying is you have to be really cautious with who we're listening to and who we're trusting. And so we actually spoke with World Vision, who we've worked with in the past a number of times. And Tyler specifically spoke with Mark Green, who is kind of the point person for the Ukraine. And they had a really good conversation about, what's next for Ukraine and what is their future going to look like in the next coming weeks and months.
One of the huge challenges that we will always face, and this is the case in a refugee situation, is as people arrive in the surrounding countries, and right now, like I said, nearly 700,000 have fled the country. Estimates upwards of 5-6 million people will eventually leave. I think the big question is what's next for them? That's the big question is, do they stay in Poland? Do they look at going to a third country? Do they look at going back to the Ukraine? And one of the things that we've always talked about, kind of working with refugees in particular, is it's really difficult to ask a family to make a decision in a very short period of time as to what they're going to do, where they're going to be for the rest of their life. You need to give them the time, space, dignity to make good decisions as they assess the landscape inside their country, opportunities where they currently are, where they may go. And so one of the things that we'll have to do from a refugee programming perspective is really in many ways provide so many of the essentials to live with dignity while that family figures out what's next for them and work their way through the process.
So he's focused on the refugee aspect of it. That's interesting because of the mass exodus of Ukrainians leaving Ukraine. And then the question is, once this is settled one way or the other, do they go back home or do they have to relocate? That's interesting. I actually didn't really think about that. I mean, I've seen the pictures of the trains being crammed and the buses being crammed of people fleeing, but you don't think about what do they do when the conflict is over eventually. You know, whether it's 10 months, 10 weeks, or 10 years, it will end at some point. What do they do in the meantime, and what do they do long term? Wow.
Yeah, and what does the future of that country even look like in terms of, you know, who it kind of quote unquote belongs to after all is said and done, and the people who have called it home for generations. Yeah, it's a real catastrophe that's unfolding right now.
The idea of having to do that, you know, I don't like thinking about making a move under the most optimal of conditions. And if you're someone, it's you, maybe it's your family, maybe you've got a kid, and you've got to make the call. You're supposed to make the call very quickly about, are you going to stay here? Are you going to put down roots in this new country that you've never been to before where you have no family? Are you going to try to go somewhere else? Or are you going to, you know, roll the dice and hope that Ukraine, you know, things settle down in a short amount of time and you can go back to your house, which may or may not still be standing when you get there? And I think that's something that, especially for those of us who feel compelled to give, you know, obviously we want to try to pitch in and donate money and resources right now. The long haul is where that gets really, really complicated for humanitarian organizations like World Vision, is they have to provide for these people for a long time and provide them with not just financial resources, but sort of the emotional space to really think about what this next phase of their life is going to look like. And so hopefully they don't have to make a snap decision to just, you know, stay there, go to somewhere else in Europe, come over here to the US, something like that. And that's a huge challenge that's only going to get more complicated as more and more people, according to him, upwards of 5 million people leaving. We're going to have to start making those decisions.
5 million. Wow. World Vision over the years, I've personally had a great relationship with them. I support them and have traveled to the front lines of a lot of refugee situations. They're always at the front of it. Like I went to the Bekaa Valley where Syrian refugees had set up like tent cities and trying to get into Lebanon, and was there sitting with the families talking with the Syrian refugees that are basically just grabbed, you know, a couple of items and ran, you know, under gunfire in the darkness of night. And here they are. What do we do? Because Lebanon didn't want them to come in. They couldn't handle it. Like Lebanon's infrastructure couldn't handle these millions of refugees. So they all just like, we're in this valley, you know, like for real. And I was there. And then like the refugee situation in Palestine and Israel, and saw that. We saw a humanitarian crisis in Somaliland a few years ago with World Vision. They're fantastic at being there. But the thing that's interesting about them is that they're local. So they're not a bunch of Americans coming over and giving handouts. Like the local World Vision office is locals. Okay. And there's 2 phases to what they do. They'll do emergency stuff. Like right now, like we need to provide food and shelter and water to the people who are displaced. And they'll do that. But then long term, they work with the local leadership and the community leaders to help them rebuild their lives and their economies and their whatever. And so World Vision's thing is like helping them stand on their own 2 feet, and then we aren't needed anymore, you know? And so like they have a really interesting redevelopment or holistic development approach that tackles education and economics and all of it after the emergency phase is over. So as this is, you were saying, Tyler, as this prolongs into possibly years, that's going to be, it'll shift from emergency relief to development, and that's the long haul, and that doesn't get the headlines, and that's really where the work happens, you know? Yeah. Anyway, what else you got going on, Emily? Thanks for starting out with the heavy. The buzz was supposed to be. The buzz was like, "Hey, what's popping this week?" And then a war breaks out. You know, it's like
I don't control the news.
We can't not talk about it. Obviously, we're talking about it on the site, but it's, you know, we're back to relevant news anyway. What else is going on?
Something more domestic. Wallet Hub released a kind of funny little report this week where they ranked the states in the U.S. based on their sinfulness. kind of using like the 7 deadly sins as
Come
like a
on,
ranking
Tennessee.
test.
Come on.
So yeah,
Tennessee.
I would love to hear before I announce the winner or loser. I don't really know if you want to be the winner in this, but who do y'all
The
think?
most sinful state?
Most.
Yes.
Oh, it
Based on the
it has
7
to,
deadly sins.
Nevada has to be where Las Vegas is. Where everything's legal over there.
Sin City.
Can you break down the criteria?
Yeah.
Like,
what are what's the
what are the
metrics?
consumer metrics?
You said the
How
7
how
deadly
they-
sins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 7 deadly sins, which are pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth.
But I mean, like, how would you
Pride.
like? Do they do that based on like credit card expenditures? Like, what?
Pride
How
is
are
like
they?
how many selfies are taken in that state
vanity-
every day.
No. We were looking at this because I edited this one, Emily. Vanity is like the metrics don't. It's a loose science. Let's say that. It's like I think pride is like how much money is spent on beauty salons or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but some of them like lust is like the most time spent on adult websites or something like that.
So it's not
pretty
like the number of
straightforward.
strip clubs.
Yeah.
It's like
Right, no.
private
So they
life
have
stuff.
different, and then some of them are easy, like theft, like crime rates generally for stuff like that. Some of them I think are a little more of a stretch. I think if I remember right, and I may not be getting this right, but I think laziness is like the least amount spent at gyms and other fitness club type things. So that that's a little bit.
Can I make a bold prediction here that
Yes.
the pattern of regional sinfulness may have an interesting alignment with the Bible Belt? Can I throw that
we've
prediction
observed
out
that in
there?
years past. They do this every year. And we have, remember one time in the magazine, we tried to overlay the most populous church cities with the most sinful one to see if it was an overlap. The Venn diagram didn't align quite like we were hoping it, or
Not
assuming it
quite
would.
a perfect circle.
It
but-
wasn't perfect.
Not hoping it was.
There wasn't zero correlation.
No,
Yeah.
it was but it wasn't as like, we got it. Like
You couldn't make
it
a
wasn't-
map. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going Bible Belt. Like, pick one. What's your prediction for most sinful state?
I'm gonna go like right in the heart, like Alabama or something, like something deep in the
Deep
south.
South.
Yeah.
Derek?
I'm going Miami.
Yeah, but
So Florida.
But if sloth was like
Miami, Florida, yeah.
not gyms and stuff like that, like Miami,
A lot of fitness.
it's all
clubs
about
in Florida.
vanity and appearance and fitness and outdoors and
I'm going Florida.
You're going
I think
Florida.
I'm
All
going
right, I'm
Florida.
going Nevada. I'm sticking with my Nevada because
Florida has what I would assume has a lot of like weird sins that just aren't calculatable. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't even
They have
tell
their own
why.
sins.
I can't even tell why what some of the people down there are doing is sinful, but it doesn't feel right. I'll tell you that.
and if you're talking Miami sin versus like Ocala sin, I mean, like the rural Florida is another land.
And that's why I picked Florida, because it's really, I mean, to me, Florida and California, you got like so many different ranges of things that could go wrong.
In some parts of backwoods of Florida, they're doing sins that haven't even been invented yet. It's pretty impressive. It's a whole new spiritual category of immorality that they're just inventing on the fly. It's pretty wild.
Oh yeah. Now if we're talking like illicit like drugs and sloth, and I'm going like West Virginia. Like I'm
This
going
is
to go
getting personal.
I'm going. Yeah, because you're right. The rural Florida, that's a bastion of.
You're thinking like Appalachia, like
rural. People think the rural is like good old hometown folks.
No way.
Uh-uh.
No way.
It's just as bad. It's Ozark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing to do, so the kids are like doing all the bad stuff because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. It's Ozark.
Things get dark out there. It's
Emily,
not
what-
like it's
Right,
not like white collar crime.
This is all good speculation.
All right,
Okay.
Emily, tell us, what is the most sinful state according to Wallet Hub?
The winner is Nevada.
Oh,
Which Las Vegas was doing a lot of heavy lifting on that result. So,
But you also got the weird rural people in Nevada too. You know,
You
got
do have- yeah.
the Florida man type stuff is out there.
desert crime.
yeah. The top 5 most sinful states are Nevada, California was number 2, Texas was number 3, Florida was number 4, and Louisiana was number 5.
There's that
So-
southern
Not,
Bible
it's
Belt.
not
And
Bible
then-
Belt. You can't really draw any partisan conclusions.
Yeah.
New Orleans, the debauchery of New Orleans is what
I will say. Louisiana, those backwoods, there is also some stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So.
But you got New Orleans and the backwoods. Yeah, it's kind of the Nevada mix.
If your car breaks down in Louisiana, that's the last people hear from you. That is it. You don't die, but you will wish you had.
Right.
What are the least sinful states?
The most holy states.
The most holy states.
The bottom five, or I don't know if I should say bottom five or top five, because I think
the least
the
sinful,
losers.
the
Yeah.
least
Let's
sinful.
go all the way.
Boring states.
The most
moral
righteous.
nerds.
We'll say righteous
nerds.
The least sinful state was Idaho, followed by Wyoming, Vermont, South Dakota, and Iowa. So honestly,
Midwest.
states where there's not a lot of people.
The biggest sin there is just potato gluttony. Just had too many potatoes tonight. Gotta get on the knees
up
and
some horses or something, horse poaching.
I got a little wound up while horse rustling. So that was approaching sin. I was so excited about it that I could see the potential for sin. And then
I watch
came home
Yellowstone. They just hang out, play cards, sit around the fire at night. They're just good folk.
Yeah,
Cards is a sin.
an extra helping of potatoes counts
Cards
as a
is a
sin in large portions of that region. So
Extra
you
helping
need to
of
keep that in
potatoes.
mind.
All right, what else you got, Emily?
Over in the music world, one of our favorite bands, Haim, partnered with their kind of unofficial fourth sister, Paul Thomas Anderson, for a new music video this week. It's called Lost Track, and here's a little snippet of it.
Deepest cut that I can feel. Find my grip on the steering wheel. I know I can stay stuck. You can sit down if you don't mind me standing up. I know I was too good to pass.
I really like the Paul Thomas Anderson Haim relationship.
I do not know what you're talking about. Paul Thomas Anderson, the filmmaker.
PTA.
What does he have to do with Haim?
So PTA, the director of movies like There Will Be Blood, this year's Licorice Pizza, Magnolia. A lot of people like Magnolia.
Oh, one of my favorite filmmakers ever. Like There Will Be Blood is one of my favorite movies.
So he's very good, and I think he's if it's not every Haim music video, it's almost every Haim music video.
What? He's done a lot.
Well, one of the Haim
like,
sisters is the star of Licorice Pizza as well.
Yeah, and Alana, the youngest Haim, is the star, and apparently that is because Paul Thomas Anderson was Mrs. Haim, Mama Haim, the adult Haim, was his art teacher when he was in middle school.
Yeah.
And he had this huge crush on her. And so now he made Licorice Pizza, which is about like a boy, like a high schooler who develops a crush on this older woman who's played by Alana. It's a little weird. It's a little, it's not right.
It's a lot weird.
That's one of those, it's not a sin like we were talking about earlier, but
it's like an Idaho sin. It's like an Idaho sin. Like it's borderline. Like I can't tell you specifically what's sinful about it, but I just don't get a good feeling about it. And it's
sin vibes.
So Paul Thomas Anderson, because he had a crush on Mom Haim, has directed all the Haim music videos, and you dubbed him the fourth Haim sister. Like, that is so surreal to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, and like I said, he cast her in his new film. Like it does seem like they have like an interesting creative
they won the
collaboration.
friend zone perk. They won it.
Yeah, exactly.
They won. You got a world-class director directed all your music videos, putting you in movies because of a crush when he was 15.
Yeah,
they won. And so now the debut of his next big movie, we've all got to go to opening night dressed as the Haim sisters. Like we'll cosplay as Haim from Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
We're all dressed like Haim and like baggy mom jeans, blazers.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to dress like this.
If the movie's delayed, like this sucks. And just the whole thing,
Yeah.
I was in LA last week, and it is very difficult to tell when you're walking around LA if you're seeing Haim or if you're just seeing a group of people. It really could be anybody. They all look. There's a very Haim look to that city right now, and it could be anyone at any point. I think I came back a little more Haim.
Down.
I'm not complaining. Like LA,
you wearing an oversized blazer and mom jeans right now.
It's a lot of Haim cosplay.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Well, there's a lot more going on at the site. That's just a little taste of the buzz this week. Check out relevantmagazine.com every day as you're doing your web browsing, and follow us on all the socials for the latest. Thanks, Emily. Have fun in Paris.
I will. Bye, guys.
Au revoir.
See ya.
Au revoir. All right, stay tuned. Up next, Shad joins us. You're listening to Goth Babe and Blood Cultures. The song is Driving South. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times best-selling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, our guest today is Shad. He's an incredible indie rapper from Canada. He's been making some of my favorite hip hop for the last decade or more. He's part of that kind of innovative alt rap scene coming out of Canada. It's incredible. His most recent album is called Tau, and it dropped not too long ago. So our very own Tyler Huckabee sat down with him to discuss his musical journey, the importance of community, and the role that his faith plays in his creativity. Here's our conversation with Shad.
Canada heat getting hotter than a Panama beach in a Canada goose. Weekend of Canada beat. Who's speaking Canada's truth? Who's standing for peace? Live from the home of the slaves in the land that was tea. Lot of broken and lost souls on this planet of freaks. Supply and demand's the only commandment we preach.
So I know you to be a very thoughtful lyricist, and I was wondering, before you even really started working on the music, I was wondering about some of the ideas and themes that you were thinking on when you started putting Tau together.
I'll start with saying that to me, the album is about connection. It's about wholeness. So what was guiding me as I was writing the album and creating the album was this image that occurred to me some years ago of a circle, and then the circle breaking into various pieces, let's say 7, 8 pieces, right? And then those pieces starting to float away from each other, and eventually those pieces all kind of disintegrating and disappearing. And that image occurred to me in the context of thinking about the various aspects of our lives. So if you think about, for example, how we think about our lives, we think about, we have a work life and we have relationships and we have a relationship to nature and we have a relationship to the sacred, to the transcendent. We think of our lives as this way, as comprised of different pieces. And it occurred to me that all of these different pieces seem to be under threat. If you think about like what's happening in the world of work, if you think about what's happening to the environment, if you think about what's happening to relationships, and it's like each of these various aspects seem to be under some serious threat. Looking for a job, man. They say that even Steve Jobs can't find a machine that I could be a cog in. This is a problem. Everybody knows it. Nobody is solving. Somebody told me stop in and shop and talk to the boss just on the off chance. Looking for a job, man. Looking for a job, man.
One of the ideas you explore on this album that I find very interesting and sort of controversial in our Christian context is this idea that maybe we're getting work wrong, that work is doing something to us. The way we think about work is doing something to us here that we need to be more mindful of and rethink. Am I right on that?
Yeah, what I'm pointing to is a couple of things. One is, the increasing scarcity and precarity of work, right? But then on the other hand, I'm talking also about how work is increasingly divorced from community, from meaning. If you don't have to look too far back in human history for all jobs to have this clear, direct line to community and to purpose. Somebody makes the shoes for the town. That's what they do. And it's not complicated. And there's a peace that comes with that, right? That people experience when it's just like your life makes sense, your work life makes sense. And then also work life was in this kind of relationship to the rest of your life where, unlike in North American culture, it wasn't everything. But, you bring up something interesting too, in terms of work and reward. And I don't know if you and I are of the same vintage, but you grow up with this idea that that's what work is all about. It's about, you go out, you are productive and then you receive something for that contribution. But if you look at our economy now, that's not what it is. Look at the jobs that we've called essential work through the pandemic. We've even given it the label of essential. And those jobs are, a lot of them, the lowest paying jobs. Meanwhile, what actually accrues wealth is stuff that doesn't involve work. It's just owning whatever assets happen to be accruing in value. So the whole thing is inverted.
You talk on the album about how our connection to ourselves, even our connection to each other, is being severed by our modern life. And I think we can all sort of see that and understand that. But you also talk about how our connection to the divine is being severed. And that's not something that you see, obviously, talked about a whole lot in the news. And I'm wondering how you see that play out and how you explore that on the album.
Well, on one hand, yeah, it's not exactly in the news media, but on the other hand, it is a big part of our culture right now. If you look at how many people are interested in mindfulness, are interested in meditation, I do think we are in it. Even the conversation of mental health that's grown, a lot of that is, what are we talking about when we talk about that? Well, we're talking about wholeness and peace and inner peace. And ultimately that kind of relates to being a part of something bigger. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So on one hand, it's not in the mainstream conversation. On the other hand, it kind of is. And for me, it's such an important part of my life. If everything is just material, we lose something important. And I do think that the conversation of mental health, the conversation of mindfulness and meditation, this is all getting at that. It's all sort of like we've lost a connection to something deeper and bigger than just the material.
Unafraid, in the age of the underpaid, Hunger Games, funny calling this a game I didn't want to play. No choice, no voice, just me and my old boys. Clung to faith, had one humble page of Tolstoy like I read it till it's shredded. Meditated on the ethics. Every day I'd pray till I get it.
We're talking about the themes of the album, which are all, I would say, pretty heavy and kind of weighty and intense, which is good, and I appreciate that. But the music isn't that way. The music is honestly, it's pretty upbeat, and it has like an optimistic sound to it. And that dichotomy is really interesting. And I'm wondering if that's something that you set about doing deliberately.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, okay. So I ended my last answer by saying, I'm talking about what we lose when we lose that relationship to the divine. But actually what I'm talking about in that song is what we get when we have it. So it's actually a positive song. It's a positive sounding song, because I'm talking about humanity and the divine, because a lot of times when people think about spirituality, they think about looking elsewhere, looking up and away from humanity. And what I'm trying to do with that song is say, no, like it's about bringing you closer to humanity, to your humanity and the humanity of other people. So that's an example of a song where it's like, it has a totally positive tone and message and feeling, because what I'm saying is this is what it is to be connected to that.
You've talked a lot about disconnection. You've talked a lot about being severed from the meaningful parts of our existence because of the way modern life is affecting us. How do you push back against that? You personally, I'm curious, what have you found, or what do you do that helps you resist some of those things in your day-to-day life?
Like I was kind of saying earlier, for me, spiritual practice is a big thing. And, that continues to be a super important thing for me, grounds me in my beliefs, in my best values, in community, in a way of practicing those values, But the thing I'm really trying to explore too with this album is this idea that we need each other to do it. So my individual practices only go so far. And I think we get told a lot in our society that, okay, it's on you. Like, you recycle and you connect with nature and you do that, and you do your 5-minute meditation on your app and you get grounded and you self-care and you do it, if it's so important to you and whatever. And I don't believe that that's how it works. I think that we have to do it in community or else it doesn't work. I don't know. It feels like we're at this interesting stage in our societies, America, Canada, where we kind of need to make some decisions, as the world continues to change, as technology continues to change. We need to kind of get to the bottom of what do we collectively think a human being is? And what do we think a good life is? Because we can't do it by ourselves.
Check it out. I'm one of a billion, paying the bills, man. Bills, fan, live in the building. My only drama's all my children. I'm chillin', not broke, not rich. Only chalet that we go into is I relate to a Fred Van Vliet. I'm like, switch, sure I miss.
That was Shad. You can check out more of our conversation with him. He's part of the winter issue of Relevant. Just head over to the magazine tab. Click the magazine tab over at relevantmagazine.com.
But still I keep kissing electricity. Feels like the real thing to me. I keep finding myself on the floor. Still I keep on coming back for more.
You're listening to Broods and Tuvlo. The song is I Keep. Okay, it is time for
the ultimate Batman movie quiz.
Hey, Clark, you wild, bro.
Yeah, he really nailed.
Clark,
I'm glad you
bro.
went that like Adam West era.
Yeah, you
too.
went Adam West.
Yeah.
Pow. Zap.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Wouldn't you just once, real quick, want to see the modern Batman have to squeeze into that Adam West costume? Props to Adam West, because I'm pretty sure he was like in his 50s and 60s when he was doing.
I don't think he's that old, was he? I don't know. Why is he hanging around with a teenager? That's weird. Is this a Heim situation?
Listen, there's a lot to unpack with the ward of young Robin.
Look,
but
you know,
way.
during that era, young people looked really, really old. Like, bro, a lot of those old basketball players when they were 30 or like 26, they look like they was 47. You just like, are you 26?
Well, they were literally smoking cigarettes on the bench, like during the game. Like they were like shooting free throws with a cigarette in their mouth. Like they didn't have the best health and nutrition. But the other thing too is like when you look at a picture of the world's strongest person from like the 1920s, it's barely someone who would register as in shape these days. But good for Adam West, because he just got into like super thin spandex. Now the Batman suits have like rubber muscles built in, right? Like an average person just slide into that thing and look pretty ripped, right? But Adam West was out there just in a, let's face it, a gray leotard with underwear right on top, just purple undies right on top.
Why did that become the look in the early comic book days? Why did they draw the first sketch? Why did he put leotards with underwear on top? I don't understand.
It was because of the circus strong man. Like those guys in the sideshow freaks who would always wear, they would wear like the little trunks.
I'm just saying, if it's crime determined,
but that's because they had big muscly legs. They had tree trunk legs.
Why are you running around in your drawers throwing ninja stars at people is the question.
They're not the most stable guys to begin with.
Right.
It's true. Yeah. Well, okay. So listeners, you know that Tyler writes our games, and I usually am the one reading them. And so the words of Tyler come out of my mouth, but Tyler is with us today. And Tyler already saw the Batman movie, so he can't play a Batman quiz game because he knows all the answers. So Tyler's going to host today's show, and I'm going to be the scorekeeper. So take it away, Tyler.
Scores. All right, you guys ready? This is gonna be just a Derek v. Jesse situation.
Let's get it
for all the marbles. All right,
let's get it.
Okay.
No pressure, Derek.
All right.
Read the intro. This is usually the pain of my existence. Reading these intros.
All of my nerd friends, I can't let you down.
And the little movie. Okay, this weekend, the latest installment of the Batman film franchise descends into theaters with Matt Reeves' moody direction, promising a whole new era in the Dark Knight's cinematic legend. Critics are praising the new movie, which stars Colin Farrell, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, Zoe Kravitz, and Robert Pattinson as the Caped Crusader himself. But Pattinson is far from the first actor to suit up as Gotham's protector. The history of Batman movies and television goes back more than 50 years, running the gamut from campy comedy to brooding blockbuster. This game will test your knowledge of Batman's various on-screen adaptations to find which among you is the biggest Bat fan of them all.
Bat fan.
Okay.
I like it. Is that a thing? Did you make that up? That's pretty good.
I said Bat. That's me. That's all. That's the genius switch.
That dude who showed up to your screening, that was a Bat fan. I like it.
All right, Derek, you're going to go first here. All right.
Let's get it.
Okay. In the comics, Bruce Wayne is inspired to become the Batman when a bat flies into his study, convincing him that embracing fear is the best way to whip Gotham City into shape. What is the wingspan of the American brown bat? Is it between 4.2 and 5.2 inches?
Hey, bro, this ain't got a thing to do with Batman.
Please don't interrupt me while I'm reading. A, 4.2 to 5.2 inches. B, 12.8 to 13.8 inches. Or C, 8.3 to 9.3 inches.
I'll remind you, a lot of nerds will judge you on your knowledge of the American brown bat.
We go and see.
You're not going full
I'm sorry.
foot?
The answer was B, 12.8 to 13.8 inches.
I don't even know, bro. Come on.
Derek, I thought you were a fan, man.
Yeah, this is. I don't know how you're going to show your face in the comic book
you wear a half
this
mask.
weekend.
Tyler is petty.
All right, Jesse.
Yep. Here we
Jesse,
go. Let's do this.
All right, here we go. In 1989, Tim Burton brought blockbuster filmmaking into a new era with Batman, the first modern take on the Caped Crusader. The movie was propelled to success by its soundtrack, which was put together by Prince. In 2003, What artist, Neptune's member, and famed Virginia Beach resident revealed that he had originally written his hit Frontin' for Prince? Is it Justin Timberlake, The Joker, Robert Pattinson making beats in his bat suit, or Pharrell Williams?
This is a tough one.
What?
But to be fair, Tyler, you could have asked me about the wingspan of various species of that, and I would have gotten that too, and I'll go Pharrell Williams. So I just want to throw it out there. Could have gone either way. So
Pharrell wrote Frontin' for Prince? That's crazy.
That is correct, Jesse.
Wow.
Good.
And I didn't know Prince did that soundtrack in 89.
Derek, it sounds like maybe you should have tried to make it to the movie yesterday instead of.
I know, it's
interesting.
This man Tyler is punishing me right now.
Well, you're up. You're up. All right. It's one. Hey, we got a lot of games to go here. It's all right. It's all right. It's early.
It's early so
All right.
far.
That was the pettiest question ever.
It's early. Here we
All right,
go.
let's go.
All right. In the movies, the Batman's archenemy, the Joker, has been played by figures like Jack Nicholson, Joaquin Phoenix, Jared Leto, and the late, great Heath Ledger. Which one of them is tallest? Is it Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, or Joaquin Phoenix?
Tallest. Oh my God.
This is, and I will say this is a fact that even the most casual Batman fan would just automatically
Jack
know.
Nicholson,
I just want to
Heath
throw that out there.
Ledger, Jared Leto, and Joaquin Phoenix. Who's tallest?
I'm going Jared Leto.
Man.
You're off by 2
Sounds like
inches.
you should have gone to the movie yesterday. It is Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger.
And they
Six
addressed
one.
this. They actually addressed this piece of trivia in the opening scene. That's what.
How tall do y'all think Joaquin Phoenix is? This is surprising.
He was my first
5'9"?
thought, but then I just kind of, I don't
He
know.
has
He
a
don't have
tall
a tall
vibe to
man
him, but
look.
he's 5'8".
Not to me. Yeah,
He's 5'8".
not to me.
Yeah.
How tall is Jared Leto?
5'11".
He seems pretty.
Jack Nicholson's
stringy.
5'10". Heath Ledger's 6'1". There you go.
All right. It's 1-0. Jesse, we're going back over to you.
Yep. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
How'd you come up with that? It's all the bad guys. Who's tallest?
What shoe size? Who wears
Who has the
an
biggest
8.5 in Nike? Yeah.
Jesse, in Batman Returns, Val Kilmer donned the bat suit to take on the Riddler and Two-Face, played by Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Their sinister plot to overthrow Gotham involved selling TVs that could control people's minds, calling to mind a similar CIA experiment reported by the Hiding Something podcast, known as A, Project Starfish, B, QAnon, C, Project MK Ultra, or D, The X-Files.
Man, another tough one, Tyler. And again, addressed in the opening minutes of the new Batman film. This would be MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
That is correct. It is Project MK Ultra.
Okay.
I hate you.
If I'm seeing a trend, if I'm seeing a trend here, only
Tyler,
two questions in.
this is one of the most fair-minded games so far. And actually,
Jesse's
he picked the
questions
questions
are about
right out of a
Virginia
hat.
Beach or conspiracies, and Derek's are loosely associated with Batman, but then going into nothing.
they're all
Relevant audience.
Once again, we
These are
both knew
Batman
the rules coming into this.
Relevant audience. You are getting a live action version of being a black man in America.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna get canceled.
Somebody's gonna write a paper about this game and marginalization of Derek's interests.
Listen, I'm just exercising my privilege.
This is
right
what
now.
we've been talking about.
I'm exercising my privilege, she said. Oh no! Oh no!
Hey, it's still early. It's still early, Derek.
I'm gonna see if
Bring
you
it
give it
up,
up because I can see the plans here, and I'm gonna see if
You're giving up too
you
soon,
feel
man.
called out. You're gonna switch it up, I bet.
I love it.
Oh my gosh!
I could not resist. I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry.
All right, Derek.
All right, man. Let's
Derek,
go.
I just want to remind you, I had a ticket ready for you. It was there.
Bro, it was my wife, Tyler. Bro, I'm trying to save my marriage, Tyler. I'm trying to save my look, bro. Do
Ticket
you
with your name on it.
listen?
I just set my popcorn down in it.
Listen, bro. You want to know insult to injury? I know this is part of the game. Insult to injury is, so I told wifey, I was like, she's like, okay, we'll go Thursday. I was like, okay, well, we'll go to a matinee. Literally, none of the showings are before I have to pick up the kids. So I don't know when I'm going to see Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
I'm sad,
I'm sorry.
bro.
Maybe this will help you out. Maybe I bet winning this game would help you out a little bit. Maybe this next question will really turn things around for you. This could be the beginning of a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
This one for you, Derek.
Here we go.
Because mine is out of 5 choices.
Action.
What's my middle name?
What's your middle name?
All right, Derek.
All right, let's go.
Batman co-creator Bill Finger said he came up with the name Bruce Wayne by combining the names of famed Revolutionary War General Anthony Wayne with the Scottish hero Robert the Bruce, immortalized in Mel Gibson's Braveheart by what actor? A. Brendan Gleeson, B. Angus McFadden, C. Tommy Flanagan, or D. Sean McGinley.
And Derek, it's another sandbag. We all know this one.
So the character is Robert the Bruce, Scottish hero Robert the Bruce, in Mel Gibson's film Braveheart.
He was played in Braveheart.
Who is the actor who played Robert the Bruce?
Once again, this is basically common knowledge in 2022.
C. Thomas Flanagan. Wow. Huh. Derek, it was Angus McFadden. It was B.
You know what? I actually thought it was Angus McFadden. I ain't gonna even lie. Just Angus sounds like a cool name. I was like,
they always said on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, go with your first gut. Like don't second guess yourself.
I can't tell you how many evenings I'm sitting around just talking with my friends about Scottish character actors from the mid 2000s, and Angus comes up. I mean,
I've never seen Braveheart.
What?
Ever. No, I haven't.
That's okay. I haven't seen it since it was probably 20-something years, but
yeah, I was a teenager last time I saw it.
I don't know how it'll age. I don't know how it ages, but at the time, it was epic.
I'll be honest, Derek. At this point, whatever you think watching Braveheart is like and what the movie actually is, it's probably exactly like that. It is the most on the nose. I mean, you could just be told it involves Mel Gibson. Even if you were just dropped in on a time machine, like you were like 1980s, zipped you up and they just dropped you in, and someone put you in a room and be like, there's a movie called Braveheart. It stars Mel Gibson and it takes place in Scotland in the medieval times. You'd be like, you know what? I think I know exactly what. Does it end with him getting beheaded? I think people would know right away exactly what Braveheart is.
That mug interests me -5.
Really?
Like that was my interest of, yes, I had zero interest in that.
That was an era where a lot of people would go to like what I call homework movies, where you're kind of seeing just out of obligation, like, oh, I guess everyone's going to see this history movie. I feel like people don't have to do that anymore. They like released like 2 Knight movies this year, Green Knight, and what was the one with the Last Duel? And it's like nobody's seeing those anymore. But there was an era where if it was like an old historical movie, it's just we all kind of felt like we had to go see it.
Be informed.
I had zero obligation in my heart.
How are we doing on time for the game?
So we got to catch Jesse up. So you've done three questions to Derek.
Another one for Jesse here?
Yeah. So far the score is 2-0. So if Jesse gets this, we just need to do the mercy rule and just
okay.
It's only fair.
Okay. Jesse, this one is a little bit tougher. This one is for serious Batman fans. Okay,
I'm ready.
All right. More than the Joker, Catwoman, Commissioner Gordon, or even Batman, the main character of every real Batman story is Gotham City itself. Mm-hmm. The name Gotham was taken by Batman creator Bill Finger from a common nickname for Manhattan in New York City, home of the New York Giants. Which former U.S. president addressed the existence of long-dead actual giants in a campaign speech at Niagara Falls?
In New York.
Was it A. Donald Trump, B. Teddy Roosevelt, C. Abraham Lincoln, or D. Alexander Hamilton?
It's funny. I was watching Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight last night and brushing up on Batman trivia. And I remember a specific scene where they referenced this speech by Abraham Lincoln. Touche, Tyler. It's Abraham Lincoln. It's got to be. And this is all because of my Batman knowledge.
True. It's an honor to talk with a real Batman fan like yourself, Jesse. That is correct.
I was flipping through some comics last night, Tyler, thinking about you, thinking about these questions, and thinking about Angus from Braveheart. And I just feel very prepared for today, and
you know what's funny?
Superior. Yeah.
I'm there right now.
I'm looking at this. Tyler prepared the game in case Emily was going to play as well, and all of the Emily questions, the answers are Olivia Rodrigo, Channing Tatum, like Wicked the musical. Like he's sandbagging it for everybody. Oh my gosh, except for Derek.
But look,
a real Batman fan would know. That's all I'm saying. A real Batman fan would know.
Oh man. This is funny.
I mean, I memorized the heights of all major Hollywood actors and the wingspans of most species of American bats. So I don't really see how this was unfair.
Oh man, you know what we should do? There's a lot more questions that he prepared. We should throw these as Instagram quizzes. Like we should throw these.
Please, do that, Joy.
See if anybody. I did think Emily was going to be part of the game, so I did create a.
Yeah. So at Relevant Podcast on Twitter or Relevant Magazine on Instagram this week, we'll post the unused questions. There's some funny ones. All right. Well, congratulations, Jesse, for winning the inaugural
The Ultimate Batman Movie Quiz.
It's a real honor. It's a real honor.
Trash. Trash, big fella.
I can't believe that I just learned something about systemic racism in America based on the Ultimate Batman Movie Quiz.
The metaphor.
You know, it's...
Hey, we deep. That's what it is. It was all planned. This was all planned. We was trying to show y'all what it's like.
Yeah, this is just a very deep sermon illustration.
And scene.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Shad for joining us today. Make sure to check out our feature with him. It's part of the winter issue of Relevant, which is, shall I say, wrapping up. We have some big announcements next week. Actually, for real, don't miss the Tuesday show. We have some big news on the Tuesday show. Don't miss it. And if you want to make sure to not miss out on the announcement, follow Relevant on all the socials. We're posting daily on Twitter, Facebook, semi-daily over at Instagram, and semi whenever we think about it over at TikTok. We're on all the socials. Also, if you want to make sure to get our best content in your inbox every day, head over to the relevantmagazine.com homepage or article pages where you can sign up for our daily newsletter. It's our top 5 trending stories delivered to you every morning. It's a great way to stay in touch with the best stuff, the trending stuff here at Relevant. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Marner.
And I'm Tyler Huckabee,
the Quizmaster. All right, we will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend,
Eddie
everyone.
Huckabee, that's your new name.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Three chicken tenders, buffalo sauce, extra buffalo.
Relevant Podcast Network.